The oppressed are allowed once every few years to decide which particular representatives of the oppressing class are to represent and repress them. The extremity of this bondage is that it is only as a worker that he continues to maintain himself as a physical subject, and that it is only as a physical subject that he is a worker. Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. All science would be superfluous if the outward appearance and the essence of things directly coincided. Every one of our relationships with nature and man must be a definite expression of our real, individual life. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world, just as it is the spirit of a spiritless situation. It is the opium of the people. The alienation of man thus appeared as the fundamental evil of capitalist society. In fact, the proposition that man's species nature is estranged from him means that one man is estranged from the other, as each of them is from man's essential nature. Capital is dead labor, which, vampire-like, lives only by sucking living labor, and lives the more labor it sucks. Every emancipation is a restoration of the human world and of human relationships to man himself. Wages are a direct consequence of estranged labor, and estranged labor is the direct cause of private property. Every opinion based on scientific criticism I welcome. The new era differs from the old chiefly in that the lash begins to imagine itself possessed a genius. Man makes religion, religion does not make man. Religion is indeed man's self-consciousness and self-awareness as long as he has not found his feet in the universe. Machinery which is not used is not capital. Nobody, not even a musician of the future, can live upon future products. Atheism reminds one of children, assuring everyone who is ready to listen to them that they are not afraid of the bogeyman. Self-contempt is a serpent that ever gnaws at one's breath, sucking the life-blood from one's own heart and mixing it with the poison of misanthropy and despair. Ignorance never yet helped anybody. History is not like some individual person, which uses men to achieve its ends. History is nothing but the actions of men in pursuit of their ends. As individuals express their life, so they are. The true law of economics is chance, and we learned people arbitrarily seize on a few moments and establish them as laws. The more of himself man attributes to God, the less he has left in himself. Man makes his own history, but he does not make it out of the whole cloth. He does not make it out of conditions chosen by himself, but out of such as he finds close at hand. All mysteries which lead theory to mysticism find their rational solution in human practice and in the comprehension of this practice. The theory of communists may be summed up in the single sentence: abolition of private property. I am a machine condemned to devour books. The ideas of the ruling class are in every epoch the ruling ideas. Merely quantitative differences, beyond a certain point, pass into qualitative changes. The production of too many useful things results in too many useless people. It is well known how the monks wrote silly lives of Catholic saints over the manuscripts on which the classical works of ancient heathendom had been written. To be radical is to go to the root of the matter. For man, however, the root is man himself. Just as man is governed, in religion, by the products of his own brain, so, in capitalist production, he is governed by the products of his own hand. Men make their own history, but they do not make it as they please. Political power, properly so called, is merely the organized power of one class for oppressing another. The ruling ideas of each age have ever been the ideas of its ruling class. A commodity appears at first sight an extremely obvious, trivial thing. But its analysis brings out that it is a very strange thing, abounding in metaphysical subtleties and theologica. Necessity is blind until it becomes conscious. Freedom is the consciousness of necessity. The best thing for rich people to do is become Batman. Education is free. Freedom of education shall be enjoyed under the condition fixed by law and under the supreme control of the state. Moments are the elements of profit. If you love without evoking love in return, if through the vital expression of yourself as a loving person you fail to become a loved person, then your love is impotent, it is a misfortune. The education of all children, from the moment that they can get along without a mother's care, shall be in state institutions. The increase in value of the world of things is directly proportional to the decrease in value of the human world. Labor in the white skin can never free itself as long as labor in the black skin is branded. Capitalism. Teach a man to fish, but the fish he catches aren't his. They belong to the person paying him to fish, and if he's lucky, he might get paid enough to buy a few fish for himself. Then the world will be for the common people, and the sounds of happiness will reach the deepest springs. Ah, come, people of every land, how can you not be roused? Society does not consist of individuals, but expresses the sum of interrelations, the relations within which these individuals stand. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. There is no royal road to science, and only those who do not dread the fatiguing climb of its steep paths have a chance of gaining its luminous summits. In proportion therefore, as the repulsiveness of the work increases, the wage decreases. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. Communism is the riddle of history solved, and it knows itself to be this solution. Religion is the impotence of the human mind to deal with occurrences it cannot understand. It is not the consciousness of men that determines their being, but, on the contrary, their social being that determines their consciousness. To be radical is to grasp things by the root. Perseus wore a magic cap down over his eyes and ears as a make-believe that there are no monsters. Go on, get out. Last words are for fools who haven't said enough. Let the ruling classes tremble at a communistic revolution. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. Working men of all countries unite. I am nothing but I must be everything. Reason has always existed, but not always in a reasonable form. Hegel remarks somewhere that all great, world historical facts and personages occur, as it were, twice. He has forgotten to add, the first time as tragedy, the second as farce. The last capitalist we hang shall be the one who sold us the rope. The philosophers have only interpreted the world, in various ways. The point, however, is to change it.